I'm Adam Anshel for Pro Football Weekly with a draft confidential on the Denver Broncos, brought to you by Verizon Fios. I'm joined by our draft expert, Nolan Nawrocki. And Nolan, the Broncos have the #2 overall pick in this year's draft. It's John Elway's first time running the show for this. We've heard quarterback as a possibility here, despite the guys they already have in the roster. Do you think that's really likely?
Well, Adam, I think it's a complete smokescreen. If you look at what John Fox had in Carolina, they got by with Jake Delhomme for a long time. And if you look at their roster now, Kyle Orton, I think, is a similar type of player. I think he's a guy that can manage the game, and they can feel comfortable getting by with them. They also got a couple other guys there with Tim Tebow and Brady Quinn, so they got enough depth. I don't see him going with quarterback at all.
So if it's not going to be quarterback, what do you think they'd like to do at #2?
I think if they could, they'd like to trade down, but the whole key is, will somebody be willing to come up and make that trade? We don't often see a team come all the way up to #2. It's going to cost a lot in general, so I think there's a good chance they're going to be forced to stay there.
So if it's not going to be quarterback and they have to stay at #2, what do you think they're going to do with the pick?
I think defensive line is definitely the most pressing need right now. I think John Fox wants to go with defense, so I think Marcel Darius, if he's there, makes a ton of sense. They can even look at Von Miller from Texas A&M, but I think they definitely want to address that defensive line.
Well, it shouldn't be hard to address it. There's only one guy gone if you're drafted #2, so plenty of guys to choose from. That was a Draft Confidential on the Denver Broncos. For the best draft coverage around, be sure to follow us on Twitter or go to ProFootballWeekly.com.